Yo! Fellas, what's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. Let's get those likes up. If you're new to the stream, make sure you guys press that subscribe button. And let's talk some crypto today. As really another day where we're kind of doing what we've been expecting, which is nothing, right? Bitcoin doing nothing again today. ETH came up a little bit today. ETH coins came up a little bit today. That was about the only thing that happened today. ETH came up a little bit. Optimism, Arbitrum, right? All your favorite ETH coins came up a little bit after Solana had its little outage. Doesn't mean Solana's dead, right? Solana will be fine. Monero take a big poo-poo today, unfortunately. So Monero take a big poo-poo today. We'll see if Monero can recover. But overall, I think everything is still going according to plan. And I think the most fun part of the market is coming, guys. I know it doesn't feel like that right now, and I know it feels super boring and the money's never going to come in again. And this is exactly how it felt back in September, when the market was super boring, there was nothing going on. And then all of a sudden you started to see coins pop up one by one. It was Chainlink, then it was Solana, and then everything else kind of followed suit. And we've already seen Chainlink come up. Solana's coming up a little bit. We're seeing ETH coins come up a little bit. This is how it started back in September. And I do believe, seriously, that the most fun part of the market is coming in the next couple weeks. And we've talked about the last few streams about why that is. But we'll talk about it again today, right? And maybe look at some new things and some things that we've been looking at already. But once again, I think time capitulation's taking a toll out of people. I think you're getting some of those emotions of the market's not moving up, so it has to be bearish, which is not always the case, right? And this is what happens at this part of the cycle, is you get that disbelief starting to come back in, and it's not a bull market unless you have disbelief. If everyone believes, the top is in, right? You need some disbelief in the market. Dan Spath, what's up, man? Thanks for being a member for 1 month. Hopefully that's the start of a long time. Daniel Spath, what's up, bro? Hit the likes. Bullish on the early stream. Yeah, I decided to hop on early, so I had a little bit of time later on to do some stuff. But yeah, we hopped on a little bit early today, and we're gonna have a good stream today. We're gonna talk some charts today. We're almost in that part of the cycle where we're not playing around, guys. We're here to make money in this market, and it's almost getting to that time where we have to get serious. Okay, it's very important that it's almost time that we get very serious. Okay, and if you're here to figure out what altcoins should I buy, this is not the stream where I'm gonna be telling you which altcoins to buy. You go watch other people, do your own research, do whatever you need to do to find out what coins you're gonna buy, guys. Once again, I put this up here. It doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell, okay? It doesn't, I will repeat that again, okay? It doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell, okay? In a bull market, everything goes up. Everyone's a genius. Every day you're going to be saying, my altcoin's going up. No, my altcoin's going up. It doesn't matter what you buy, okay, unless you're buying XRP. If you're buying XRP, well, I don't know why you're buying XRP. But besides that, you can buy EOS, Litecoin, Dino coins. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell. Remember that. That's the most important thing. Okay. But besides that, okay, let's talk. We gotta get the daily close today.
The daily close.
We actually will get to say the daily close today because that's at 7. We got 45 minutes. We will be able to talk about the daily close today. Shit, it's been so long since we talked about the daily close, man. Holy guacamole. Okay, Mike said Jordan threw off my whole dinner schedule. Well, of course we did. Of course we did. All right. Let's talk about a few things. Okay, so Bitcoin short term, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, guys. I'm serious. Like, as these next few weeks and next few months roll around, I'm going to care less and less about the short term time frames. I'm not going to give a flying shit about this. Okay, because I will say once again, over the next year, investors will outperform traders. Okay, so these short term time frames are not going to matter at all. Okay, so we'll talk about it today. Bitcoin, I mean, it's not doing anything. It's in the same range it's been for the past 9 days. of this $1,000 range between about 43,600 and 42,000. It's not doing anything, but it still has the same structure. It still has the left shoulder head, right shoulder structure. And I'm talking about the same thing in the short term. I'm still expecting these highs to get taken out and us to come up and fill this box looking left. And is it going to be a lower high before we go back to down again? Who knows? But ultimately, as we've been talking about, guys, I think most are going to wait too long to accumulate. And if you can pick up Bitcoin below 40K again for whatever reason, you better take that as a gift, and you better not be looking for significantly lower than that. I just don't think you're going to get significantly lower than that. If you're looking for 30, 32, 28, I don't think you're going to be getting those prices. If it goes below 40K again, I think that's a buy. The closer you can get to the bull market support band at 38K, which historically Bitcoin stayed above at this point in the cycle, that would be a good buy for BTC. But to be honest, I'm not really focused on BTC at this part of the cycle. I got the BTC I wanted from much, much lower prices. I'm more focused on the altcoin market now, okay? And I think that's what most people are sort of focused on going into the rest part of the cycle. But, here's the thing, okay? Remember, guys, we talked about this the last few days. Expect some more chop. Expect a more boring sideways action, probably until at least the middle to end of February, okay? I think this month is going to be kind of a boring, crappy month. Probably sideways for Bitcoin, probably kind of just choppy, slightly down for altcoins. Be okay with that, okay? We know this. We've been talking about this for the last few weeks. That's what we should be expecting, okay? Now, what I want to talk about today, okay, is a few things on the Bitcoin chart, but on the altcoin chart mainly, and the Ethereum chart, which I think the Ethereum's looking very, very similar to what it did in the last cycle as well. So, Bitcoin. So we have 2 months into the halving, okay? But what if you are a trader like Horse Guy? Well, if you're a trader like Horse Guy, well, I think you'll be okay if you're FOMOer. You know what I mean? Like, if you are a FOMOer, I think you're going to be okay, right? If you're just going, wow, I am bullish on this coin. I will FOMO now and hold and hodl. I think you'll be okay for a little bit, but there's going to be a point where you're going to go, wow, I am doing so good FOMOing. I will FOMO again. Oh, it's going down now. I will just become a bag holder. Yes, it will eventually go higher. Oh, it's going even lower now. It's okay. I will join the Discord and be a community member for my coin. Yes, it will eventually go back up. Eventually. Eventually you become a community member, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, so we got 2 months into the halving, okay? It's about 60 days until the halving. Give or take a few days based on how the miners are mining the Bitcoin, but give or take, say, 60 days. And, what I'm looking at here is this sideways period for Bitcoin. So we've been going sideways since the week of December 4th. So we've been going sideways actually for over 2 months. And what that has allowed is these high time frame momentum to reset, right? So we have our weekly stock RSI that is actually going below a 20. Now, I wanted to show you guys in the previous halving periods why, when we're this close to the halving, if you get the stock RSI below a 20, that is time that you should be accumulating. That is not time where you should be getting bearish, okay? And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So you guys can see here, we're 2 months from the halving. Stock RSI on the weekly, right here, is below the 20 level, okay? Now, let's go look in the past of when that has happened in the past. So let's go back to 2020, all right? So we had the halving right here, okay? That was in May of 2020, all right? Let's go back and look. So you can see prior to this point, right, Bitcoin first came up and then it had the COVID crash, okay? And you can see as we approach the halving, even if you include that COVID crash, look, when Bitcoin went below a 20 on the stock RSI, that was actually on that capitulation candle of COVID, okay? And then it was the next week actually where you got the bounce candle that you actually went below the 20, okay? But you can see accumulating Bitcoin on these 2 weekly candles was a fantastic time to accumulate, even with the COVID crash, okay? So you had the stock RSI below a 20. It only stayed down there for 2 weeks, and then it popped back above. And that was the best buy opportunity that you had for BTC, okay? Going into the halving, where ultimately from there, it was up only, okay? Let's go back to the next cycle, okay? So right here, we had the halving in July 2016, okay? Let's go to the time where before that, where the stock RSI and the weekly went below a 20, okay? And it was right here in February 2016. You can see that Bitcoin came up. It had a little dip to the bull market support band. You can see right here, once again, only for 2 weeks, the weekly stock RSI was below the 20 level. That was ultimately the best time to accumulate before the halving, was when that stock RSI was below the 20 level. You can see from that point, it didn't go lower from that point. It continued to rise and go up, okay? So we have 2 cycles that told us the same thing, okay? Weekly stock RSI below the 20 before the halving is for buying, not for being panic seller pussies, okay? Let's go to the next cycle. Right here, okay? December 2012. We have the first halving, okay? Look what Bitcoin did, right? Massive pump into the halving. But right before, just like we are doing now, we had a pullback, right? And you can see the weekly stock RSI went below a 20. But look, how many weeks was it below there? Dun, 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 2. 2 weeks below a 20 in the weekly stock RSI. That was the time where you should have been accumulating. That was your last opportunity. And from there, up only, okay? So the last 3 cycles have been the exact same. When you get the weekly stock RSI below the 20 before the halving, that is when you should be accumulating, okay? And you usually get a couple weeks to do so, okay? And we just entered it last week, so you're probably going to get 1, 2, 3 weeks, as we've been talking about, to sort of stack. But that was the time where you should have been looking for stuff that you want to accumulate, okay? So we have 3 cycles that did the exact same shit, all right? 3 cycles did the exact same shit. The other thing, okay, that I want to look at today is ETH. Okay, so we have Bitcoin, weekly stock RSI below a 20. Okay, I think for the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, we should be looking at areas where we can pick up BTC if you are a sideliner. If you're already packed, basically what this means is you should be doing nothing. You should be sitting on your hands, not looking at the 1-hour chart and caring what that's doing. You should be doing literally nothing if you already have your bag. Okay. If you're a sideliner or you're looking to add, while this is below a 20, we should be adding, okay? Especially if Bitcoin goes below 40K again, which I don't think, I honestly, I don't know if it is going to go below 40K again. But if it does, that's for adding BTC, not for being a panic selling pussy, all right? These panic selling pussies right before the halving.
Rant alert.
All right? Panic selling pussies right before the halving will become people who will be buying my bags higher and will be asking me, Jordan, should I buy this now? And I'll be saying, no, you should have been buying before. You should have been buying before the halving, bro. I'm just being honest. You should have been buying before the halving. Let's go look at ETH, okay? Ethereum, getting a nice little move up today. Now, do I think this move up for ETH right here is going to send ETH 3,500 right away? It might not, right? But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this green candle is going to lead to a bigger rally. Remember, actually, I want to look at ETH right here, okay? This is ETH from this cycle versus last cycle. And I want to show you why, if you're bullish on ETH and you're bullish on ETH tokens, you should be buying those like a freaking chimpanzee right now, okay? You should be buying the ETH tokens. If you are bullish on ETH, this is the time, okay? This is the time. And I know they're up today, but this is the time where you should be buying them if you're bullish on ETH. Take a look. Take a look. Why? Excuse me. Kaser, what's up, man? Will we see 10K ETH this cycle? I'm not about price predictions. I think it all depends on where you think Bitcoin tops, okay? Making price prediction on altcoins, man, that's you can't make price predictions on altcoins, man. You just have no idea because you don't know where Bitcoin's going to go, right? if Bitcoin tops at 80K, it's going to be much different than if Bitcoin tops at 200K, right? So it's hard to make the altcoin predictions. Okay. Well, Mike, maybe we'll look at something for ETH, okay? All right. You've never seen, yeah, Knucklebuster. We'll talk about cost too. I am a costronaut now, and I think it's almost that time for cost. ETH. Why is this a very, very good time for ETH? Okay, so notice what ETH has done. All right, let's just go look at the ETH weekly chart. Okay, let's go look at the ETH weekly chart. All right, so ETH. This is why I think now once again. Ignore the weekly candle that's up this week. I don't think this matters. Okay, so I'm not saying this because ETH is pumping right now. Even if ETH was red right here, I'd be saying the same shit. And I'll show you guys exactly why. Okay, so this is ETH's bear market resistance. Okay, so this was the bear market resistance points, right? These are where ETH could not break. Okay, so we had resistance, 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 resistance. We finally broke through. Okay, now the problem was that when ETH broke through here, our momentum was already topped out, right? So we formed a little bearish divergence and we had to reset, okay? So notice for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, ETH has been consolidating above previous resistance and holding it as support. You might be saying, that's great, Jordan. What if it just stays here forever? No. Here's the thing, right? And I think this is the most interesting thing. You can see that the weekly stock RSI, just like Bitcoin is resetting, we almost have the blue below the 20 level, which is for accumulating, right? Let's go look at the last cycle. And you'll notice that ETH did this exact same thing in the last cycle, okay? Look at this. Here's ETH from 2021. What do you notice? Do we notice anything here on ETH from the last cycle? What do we have? Bear market resistances. We finally broke out. But what happened, right? We got the breakout, but what happened? Look how long ETH stalled and held this as support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Took about 13 weeks to finally get going, okay? So we broke out. We sat here for 13 weeks. And I was here during this part of the cycle. During this part, just like now, that's when Bitcoin was flying up. Everyone's like, why isn't ETH moving? This is ridiculous, right? But ETH sat here for 13 weeks. And it wasn't until, look, it wasn't until that weekly stock RSI went below a 20 and then crossed back up. That's when ETH started to rise, okay? So you notice how it went below the 20, fully reset, and that's when it started to go back up, okay? So we go back to our current cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. Once again, right? Last cycle was 13. This cycle's 10. What does that put us? 3 more weeks? What does that put us? Towards the end of February. Isn't that kind of the time frame we've been looking at, right? For most things. And what do we got? Weekly stock RSI is just entering that under 20 level, okay? So ETH is playing out very similar to it did last cycle, right? Bitcoin is playing out very similar how it did for all the cycles. We just looked at it. All 3 did the same thing, right? Oh, we got some music today. Oh, yeah. We got some music today. So Bitcoin did the same thing. ETH is doing the same thing. Okay. Is the altcoin market doing the same thing? Let's go take a look. Look. We have total 3 hovering above the bear market resistance points. Weekly stock RSI just entering below 20. Right above the bear market resistance. What did it do in the last cycle? Above the bear market resistance points. Look at this long consolidation, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks. 15 weeks above the previous bear market resistance points. weekly stock RSI hit below the 20 level. And then it was off to the races, right? So far, total 3 has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Okay? Who's playing this music? What is going on, man? It's someone's birthday outside. It's someone's birthday outside, man. This is great. This is great, man. It's someone's birthday. I wish it was my birthday. Actually, guys, I hate it. I hate when it's my birthday. I hate when people sing happy birthday to me. I cannot stand, especially if you go to a restaurant and they're like, it's his birthday. I can't stand that. They all go up to you and start singing the happy birthday song. That's the worst, man. That is the absolute worst. But yeah, so total 3, what we could expect, and this is what we've been talking about, I think we got some more, I think we got a little bit more chop here. And what we could say is, happy birthday. Birthday. Is someone having a party out there? But yeah, so what we could expect is probably a few more weeks for altcoins. Huh? Yeah. We could probably expect a few more weeks of chop. Okay. Let's allow this weekly to reset on the altcoin market. Okay. And other than that, it seems as though everything is doing the same thing that it did last cycle, right? Literally, we just looked at it. Bitcoin, ETH, the altcoin market. We are just in that last phase where people start to get super bored. People start to give up. People start to wave the white flag for whatever reason, okay? But when you really look at the charts themselves, we are doing exactly the same thing that we did in the previous cycles. For Bitcoin, we have 3 cycles to look at. For ETH, we have 1. And for the total 3, we have 1. But you can notice that markets tend to rhyme, okay? So we're getting that nice reset. We are getting that time capitulation, which last cycle, it took 15 weeks for the altcoins to do almost nothing, to get people super, super bored before we had enough time capitulation to get the market rolling. We're at about 9 weeks right now, which means that we could still see, I think it's going to be in the shorter side, and I'll show you guys why. But we still could see another month or two of sideways for the altcoin market. Okay. Now, why I think it could be shorter, like in February, like February, is because, shit, man, what was that? Oh yeah, why I think it could be shorter is our Ethereum Classic fractal. Now, I always like to bring this up. This is not about me being, don't think of this as Ethereum Classic, okay? This is not indicative of Ethereum Classic. Think of this as the whole altcoin market, how it typically moves together, okay? And we've been following this since the lows, okay? And every time we always say, it looks like the Ethereum Classic had to move up. It's the same stuff. It was the same stuff down here. We said ETH Classic. This is the point where ETH Classic started to move off the lows. You get the same thing. No, it's not going to move off the lows, Jordan. Okay? And it did. Okay, then we went sideways for a while and we said, okay, this is where you made a higher low and you had another pump. No, we're not going to get another pump. There's no way, Jordan. And we did, okay? Now, as we sit on top of the previous bear market resistances, and we are holding them as support now, what I think could happen is after a little bit more time capitulation, I think we're going to see this move. And I think this move is going to surprise a lot of people. Okay? I think this move right here will surprise a lot of people because I just don't believe that the market believes that this move is possible right now. I don't believe the market believes that this move is possible right now. I think this move is going to surprise a lot of people. Now remember, this move doesn't mean that we're going straight to the moon. I still believe that as we get closer to the halving, there still could be something like this where we get kind of like that shakeout, either like at the halving or a little bit after the halving. There still could be one of those like final shakeouts. But I do believe before the halving, a move like this would shock a lot of people, because I just don't believe that's the sentiment right now. I think a lot of people are looking for Bitcoin to continue the correction, and basically a dump into the halving, which we looked at that has not happened throughout history, right? So this Psycho Pearl, shout out to you, man. This move I think is going to surprise a lot of people. Okay. And I'm going to stick to my guns. I think this is what the charts are showing. People will disagree with me, and that's okay. But I'm having a lot of conviction, and I do believe we're going to see a move by the altcoin market up after a little bit more time capitulation. Okay? And I think the people who have the guts and have the diamond balls will get rewarded by that. And I think the people who are selling things now to buy back lower are going to be very, very salty. In my personal opinion. But I do believe this move comes at some point, and I think this move shocks a lot of people right here. And remember, this is not, don't think of this for ETC. Think of this as, if this plays out, that would be all the altcoins doing something like this, as typically you don't see things move up like this by themselves, okay? But does show we have a little bit of time left, okay? I think this happens more towards the middle to end of February. Okay. Let's see. You need another Matt Damon ad? No, please. The Matt Damon ad was the worst possible thing that could happen. Alex Garcia, the guy from Bank of Canada, was right.
Basically, Bitcoin is clearly a scam. Cryptocurrency is clearly an idiot with no common sense. And scientifically speaking, according to a study at the Bank of Canada, more people who are financially illiterate invest in Bitcoin.
Knuckle Buster said Jordan for president. Bro, I would never want to be president. Who the hell would want to be president, bro? I don't understand anyone who would willingly sign up to be the president. Like, there's no upside. There's literally no upside to being the president, man. I feel like people who are the president just do it for the ego, because what is the upside? You don't get paid that much as being a president. You basically get all, I guess it's ego. I guess it's just wanting to be the president, because I just don't see wanting to be having to make those type of decisions if I don't have to. Especially, like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it, man. Alex Garcia wants to be the president? What psychopath would want to be the president? Let me ask you this. Who in here would ever want to be the president? Say yes or no. Would you ever want to be the president? Brandon said upside, insider trading. That's a good point. Insider trading. You do make a lot of money, just not legit, I guess. All right. So I think putting all these things together, okay, as I showed you here, and I think putting everything we have together here, Bitcoin, stock RSI in the weekly going below a 20, that typically is a buy signal before the halving. We look at, ETH consolidating right above its bear market resistance points, okay, which has been a point where last cycle that we should have been accumulating at this point, okay? We should be accumulating if ETH comes back to these lows, okay? We look at total 3 accumulating above the bear market resistance points, just like it did in the last cycle, waiting for that stock RSI to get below a 20 before we had liftoff. Waiting for that stock RSI to go below a 20 before liftoff. We still got some time, so don't get boarded out of the market. We still probably got some time. We look at the stock market continuing day by day to put in new all-time highs, which has always been something that Bitcoin has needed to happen for it to put in all-time highs. We put everything together. I see the same thing happening this cycle that happened last cycle. I see the same sentiment, right? Where you're starting to get a little disbelief in the market again, which is perfect right before the halving. People have been waiting 4 years for the last halving. Now people want to flip bearish right before it. I think everything's playing out fantastically, okay? But remember, I think this is the easy part. I think the hard part is going to be, once again, it doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell, okay? This is the easy part. The hard part is coming. And that's going to be very, very hard for me because I might have to be the bad guy, right? It's great right now feeling like it's time to accumulate, it's time to accumulate, it's time to accumulate. But when I'm the guy sitting here after the halving saying, it's time to be selling, it's time to be selling, it's time to be selling, and people are just entering the market and they just bought and I'm saying I'm selling, they're going to be pissed. That's going to be the hard part, okay? But we have the signs, we have the signals, we know what to look for tops, and we don't even need to wait for the top. We just need to take periodically profits out of the market after the halving, okay? So that's going to be the hard part, and I think what a lot of people are going to be looking for when we get to that point is I really think you're going to see euphoria, but it's going to be people looking, asking, Jordan, should I buy this now? Franco, you think I should buy this coin? Hey, Bath, I know this coin's up 5x. You think I should buy this now? There's going to be a lot of that, right? Hoffs, Chili's is up like 15x. Should I be buying this now? And the hard part is going to be telling those people that are just getting in, no, right? And it's not easy to do because it's just not, right? And I know some of you guys will be like, yeah, you should buy. so they pump your coin up. But, I think what we have to do a little bit better, and what I've realized the longer I'm in this market is you don't need to be a genius in the market. You need to buy when no one else wants to. But the hardest part is selling when everyone wants to buy. That is the hardest part of this market. The longer I've been in this market for, and that's going to be my main focus. I'm going to have 2 more months of me screaming at the top of my lungs that you should be accumulating, but after that, you're not going to be hearing that from me anymore, and it's going to be a different tone. It's going to be a much different tone as we go forward. So let's get this. I think we got a lot of fun times ahead. But I also think it's going to be a very difficult path to maneuver going forward, guys. But, like I said, I've had my rant. We've talked for 40 minutes now. I've made my case. I think we have a pretty good case to make. It's just now we just have to let it play out. I still think we got some time to chop, and I still think you got some time to accumulate here. It's not like urgent where you have to buy it today. I still think you got some time. Bitcoin could still go lower. ETH could still go lower. Your altcoins can still go lower. I still think you got some time. But I think a lot of people are going to be waiting too long. And it's going to end up, of buying highs again. And, it is what it is. But let's get this, guys. Let's get this, man. All right. Let's hang out. Let's talk to the chat a little bit. And let's do this. Anyways. Let's talk, before we jump in the chat, Mike said buy Chile straight up to World Cup 2026. Man, dude, all you guys, man. Wayne's going to be like, yeah, you should be buying Bitcoin at 80K. Franco's going to be like, yeah, you should be buying Optimism when it's at $20. All right. Monero is going to bounce and go to like $700, and Bath's going to be like, yeah, you should buy Monero at $700. All right, let's look at some stuff that happened today before we jump in the chat. So obviously the big news, there was a couple big news? Big news? How do you say plural news? I guess it's news. Monero, that was the big one today. It took a big poo-poo down to the downside. Now, I will say this. Binance delisting. I think the issue with Monero, and I guess it's not so much Monero, it's the issue with like the U.S. government and Binance, is the U.S. government does not like privacy, okay? The U.S. government is now basically in control of Binance. You put two and two together, government does not like Monero, okay? So I think that it's not the issue with Monero, it's the issue with Binance. So Monero obviously got delisted from Binance. Took a little bit of a tumble today. Now I'll say this, I'm not like a big, I would say this, if this was any other coin, I'd say this is a fantastic time to buy this. Now, I'm not a big fan of buying Monero to hold or to hodl. I think Monero is actually one of the best use case cryptos, but the problem with Monero, it's not one of the best gainers. Like when the market's bullish, it just doesn't move. So I'm not buying Monero here, but I'll say this, like if you're a big fan of Monero, it's down 37% on the Binance delisting today. If you're a big fan of Monero, as it comes into these lows, I always say a lot of the times bad news marks lows, and this is a tough one, and maybe you want to wait for, a little bit of support to come in or a little bit of strength to show up in the market. Catching a falling knife is always not the easiest thing to do, but as it comes back into this previous low from June of 2022, I'd say if you really, really like Monero and you really believe in Monero, I think if you get a 37% discount on something that you believe in because of a Binance delisting, maybe you take advantage, okay? But once again, I'm not, just because I don't think Monero is the best gainer in the world. But I think if you really, really like it, listen, I don't know if you're going to be getting that many opportunities better than this. Basically being back at its bear market low. So that's what you got for Monero. That was the big news today on Monero. The other thing is Solana, which I didn't really think this was a big deal today, but I think it was big for ETH. Was Solana actually had an outage today, but Solana actually closed the day green. It actually did pretty good today, considering. So I think Solana's fine. I don't think this is bad for Solana. Solana's always going to be around. Solana has its use case, right? It's for the low cap shitters. It's perfect for the low cap shitters, right? But Sol still looks fine on the chart. I still think Sol looks fine on the chart. Once again, I think if you get a chance to buy Sol below $80 again, that's a buy. Okay, it's a little up now. You can still buy it now if you want to, but it's not the best area. If it goes back below $80, I think Sol is a buy. But I still think the chart looks fine. Like if you're already in it, I think you're once again you're just sitting on your hands doing nothing. I think the chart looks perfectly fine. It is what it is. But the Sol outage, I think that was more bullish for ETH than it was bearish for Sol. I don't think Solers really care. But what that did, I think that sparked a little bit of momentum for ETH. And ETH got a nice little push up today. And you saw the ETH tokens get a nice push up. Optimism was up 8% today. Arbitrum was up 7% today. Even Uniswap, which has been struggling, was up a good 5% today. Matic was up. Lido was up. You did see some of the ETH coins come up, which I think is good. I think that's ultimately good for the market. And so ETH got a little bit of traction, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I still think the ETH BTC bottom is in. Okay? I am still saying that the ETH Bitcoin bottom is in. Why? Because we've gone over this many, many times. ETH BTC has bottomed every cycle in the halving year in January. Every single cycle. Okay? So I think the ETH BTC bottom is still in. I think it's been choppy right here, but ultimately, I think as we kind of go along here, I think ETH can outpace Bitcoin at this point in the cycle. It just might take a little bit, but ultimately, I think the ETH BTC bottom is in. Most people will disagree. I think that January 7th ETF pump or dump on this was the low, right? So that's what we got on that. Rudy said the pre-halving dump. We just had the pre-halving dump. What is this? What is this people obsession with the pre-halving dump, guys? I don't understand. Rudy, I love you, man, but I don't understand people's obsession with Bitcoin having to have a pre-halving dump. It doesn't have to have a pre-halving dump. I don't know what this obsession with the pre-halving dump is. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't. Bitcoin just had a 20% correction right now, you know? And I mean, if you look at the previous halvings, there's no playbook on what has been the norm, like for Bitcoin. Like, and that's why I avoid it, because in the first halving, Bitcoin just pumped into the halving. In the second halving, Bitcoin pumped hard into the halving and actually had a pull back mostly after the halving. In the third halving, Bitcoin had the COVID crash 3 months before the halving and then pumped into the halving. So there's a different thing has happened every single time. But 2 out of the 3 halvings, Bitcoin actually pumped into the halving, okay? Which was 2020 and 2012. There's only been one where Bitcoin was going down and into that, like was basically dumping into the halving. So like there's no blueprint. I don't know what this people's obsession is, or Bitcoin has to have this pre-halving dump. like that hasn't been the case. And you could argue, even if you do think that, we just had a 20% dump. Like, what do you want, a new bear market? Bitcoin goes down 40-50%? You know, I don't understand it, but it is what it is. But yeah, ETH BTC is fine. ETH tokens pumped. That's really it. Nothing else really happened today. COS was up today. COS is one that I'm now bullish on. I was bearish on COS. Now I'm bullish on COS. COS chart looks fantastic right here. Fantastic. Man, it looks sexy. But I was bearish on COS for a long time. Now I'm a COStronaut. So I'm strapped up, ready to go on COS. Ready to rock and roll with Miles, bro. Never thought I'd say I'd be ready to rock and roll with Miles and be ready to rock and roll. But yeah. Let's see. Has to have a black swan before the halving. Hops just said we just had it. Hops, you can only say it so many times. You know, you can only say it so many times. You know, we have to have the pre-halving dump. With Bitcoin just dumped from 49 down to 38. It was actually a 22% dump, but we're just going to act like it didn't just do that. But we have to go lower. We have to go lower. We could go lower. I'm not going to say it's impossible. But I think using the word has to is definitely not the word to use. You know, Reese's eggs. Dude, I love Reese's eggs. Reese's eggs are absolutely phenomenal, bro. Now, I only would want one. Some people can just pop those shits like pills, man. But one Reese's egg is the best shit. Just one egg. One egg. The best candy, though. Everyone put your best candy in the chat. Your favorite candy. Kit Kat. Kit Kat is the best candy. In my personal opinion. That is this. For Hoopty said, ARB, OP, Scale, Matic, Gala, all ETH tokens. For Hoopty, you know what's up. Yeah, I like all those. Now, Gala, I'm not a huge fan of. But, like, it doesn't matter if I'm not a huge fan of it or not. Like I said. Like I've said it multiple times. Okay? Shit, man. Where's my saying? It doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell. Okay? Remember this. Remember this going into the next few months. This is what you should like. This is the most important thing. Okay? You could buy the most trashy altcoin. It's probably going to go up. But knowing when to sell it is more important than what you're buying it. It doesn't really matter. Ferrero Rocher. 3 Musketeers, said Franco. Oh my God. Three Musketeers. Bro, you gotta be high. Three Musketeers? Who likes Three Musketeers? Kit Kat's gotta be the way. Raul says Kinder Bueno. Kinder Bueno is pretty good, man. I like the Kinder Bueno with the little chocolate oozing in there. That's some good stuff. Bass said someone's gonna buy 10 kilos of cocaine on a dark market any second now and send Monero back to 120. Bath, I hope so, man. I hope so, man. I do, man. I want to see everything go up. You know, if it's up to me, I'd choose that literally everything would go up. Literally everything, man. Literally everything, man. I really, really do. If it's going to bounce, it's going to be from this box. Which I really, really hope it does, man. Like, I always want to see everything go up, you know? But, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think, like I said, if you really like Monero, this is when you should be looking at it, right? Not after it pumps. Like, obviously, like, this is not pretty. But I guess if you're coming into a previous low, it's never going to look pretty. Even if this was a slow bleed down to low. You know what I mean? Like, if you really like Monero, this is when you should be looking for buys. Okay, you shouldn't be looking at if you hold Monero now and you just held through this candle, you shouldn't be looking at it now and going, should I leave? Should I get out of it now? You know what I mean? Like, this is when you should be looking to buy it if you do like it, because it's not like anything fundamentally happened to Monero. It got delisted from Binance, right? Nothing fundamentally happened. It would be different if it got hacked or like some bad shit happened to it. Nothing bad happened to it. If anything, this actually promotes more use case into Monero, because now it's off another centralized exchange, which makes it even more private. But, you know, it is what it is. Brian said, I'm long Monero, no guts, no glory. Shit, man, listen, I'd rather long than short here. You know? So, like, if you really like Monero, this is when you should be looking to buy. I'm just saying. Bad news marks lows, fellas. Lord almighty. Swiss chocolate, best sweets. Swiss chocolate. No peeps. He said peeps. Peeps. Peep. This dude just said peep is his favorite candy. Peep. Oh, he said peep. The little marshmallow duck. Come on, man. Come on. Marshmallows are so overrated in general, man. God damn it. Marshmallow? Bro. Is anyone baffled as I am right now? He just said Peep is his favorite candy. That's even worse than Three Musketeers. Come on, Monero. Let's get a little bounce, bro. All right. Other than that, guys, I think everything's looking good, man. Everything's looking good. I think if we can get through this time period. I just ranted for 40 minutes. We looked at all my favorite charts. Everything I'm looking at, everything is time capitulating perfectly. We're setting all the weekly stock RSIs as we did in previous cycles. Everything is looking fine and freaking dandy, man. And if you're still here, I think that's half the battle, man. Half the freaking battle, bro. All right, crypto bubbles. One of our favorite things to look at, the crypto bubbles. Let's look at the day. So what do we got? We got DIM up 25%, HBAR 8%, ENS 10%, Optimism 8.4%. BitAnswer just keeps going, man. 7.5% for Tau. That thing just keeps running. Crazy, man. ARB, Pendle, Matic, ETH. A lot of ETH tokens up green today. Cost 6%. Once again, not a crazy day. Mostly a mixed day. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these mixed days in general. FXS and Monero, obviously the big red ones. If I could pop this XMR bubble, I definitely will. Can we pop it? Can you pop bubbles? I wish I could pop it. Damn it. We can't pop it. This thing's down to number 43 in market cap. Jeez, man. This was a top 20 coin. Shit. That's crazy. But, yep, that's what we got. Mostly a mixed day. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But that's what we expect, okay? That's what we expect. We expect up, down, up, down. Nothing crazy for the next, until about mid-February. That's what we should be expecting. Let's check out inflation data, which I think CPI is a week from now. And that's going to be, I think, important for maybe switching a little bit of this. Holy shit. Oh my God, we might be having a problem here, guys. This actually might be the opposite problem as we've been having very, very soon. This actually might be the issue. I don't know, man. I think, eventually this might become an issue. Trueflation. So I was wanting to see if this would bounce back up for the fifth day. We have Trueflation below 2%, 1.45%. The next CPI is a week from now. Something tells me the next CPI is going to be very, very good. I think it's going to be in the low twos, and I think that's going to get the market really well. This is actually all. When I look at all this, and I know we've talked about the ETC fractal and how the hell are people going to be buying altcoins, and we've looked at like the GameStop chart looking bullish. Why are people going to be buying GameStop and be going YOLO into those meme stocks? I'm kind of understanding, and I'm kind of looking at how that could play out from a narrative. There's always going to be a narrative that goes along with, oh my God, why are these things pumping? You don't understand it in the moment, but then you look at it and you're like, okay, it kind of made sense. CPI is a week. It's in February 13th, okay? It's kind of lining up where I think that's going to come in really good. And I think that's going to shock a lot of people. And people are going to be, I think it's going to come in like the low twos, like 2.3, 2.2. And I think the market is going to be like, holy shit. Inflation is almost back down at the Fed's 2% target. And I think that is what could get the market, right? That is what could get, right? GameStop, right? We take a look at this chart, and then we know that GameStop is a meme stock. It's going to run with altcoins because that's when people are just, going YOLO bat shit on shit. GameStop chart in a falling wedge, in a 3-year falling wedge at support, okay? Something's coming. Something's brewing, man. You got the GameStop chart in a 3-year falling wedge at previous highs, which should now act as support. Total 3 in SOS phase of Wyckoff. Something's brewing here. I don't know what it is. But it's all kind of lining up to something, man. And I know people will come on and say, Trueflation's bullshit. It's not real. Then how come it precedented for the last year? It precedented inflation coming down if it's bullshit, because it was basically leading the Fed's data. So I do think that there's something to this, man. There's something to this. Biryani OG Kush. Biryani, baby. I never had it, but it's one of those Indian dishes. It is on the menu. And I gotta love it. Will XRP ever go up? XRP is trash. I'm just gonna be honest, man. Listen, here's the thing about XRP. I don't want to be pissing people off because people are so cultish in crypto, man. Guys, we gotta drop the cult shit in the crypto, man. People get so pissed off about people. You're talking shit about my imaginary coin, bro. Think about it this way. All altcoins, okay, are literally digital tokens that no one uses in real life. Let's stop getting butthurt because people are talking crap about Cardano or Solana or AVAX. They're all imaginary tokens that no one uses in real life other than for trading. Okay? So let's stop being cultish and caring. Think about the altcoin market as one big family. It all moves together up or down. Some coins move differently, but the cycles, they all move the same. Okay? We gotta stop being cultish. But I'll say this. I will say this. XRP, I just don't understand it. I've said this so many times. I just don't understand. Like, if you want to hold a little bag, that's fine. Like for maybe like a short-term trade or something. Like I told you guys, I did buy a little XRP right here, but it's not going to be one of these like hold ones. I only bought it because of that support. But it's probably not one I'm going to hold like for the whole cycle. Dude, what are people going nuts? People are singing happy birthday. Cars are getting broken into. I've never understood this cycle holding XRP. I just don't get it, man. Literally the most bullish thing that could have happened to it. It is the only altcoin that was deemed not a security. And it literally is performing worse than every other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the one thing that could have pumped it did not do it. I just don't understand the upside. I think you can buy any other altcoin and it's going to perform better. Like, why would I buy XRP over literally anything else? Right? I maybe I'm wrong. I just don't get, like, some people are XRP maxis. I'm like, dude, why are we XRP maxis? I don't get it. I don't get it. If someone could show me why and, you know, maybe convince me otherwise, that'd be great. But for the market cap that XRP is at, what is the upside? Because if I'm going to buy an altcoin, I want upside. I'm not looking for a 2x on my altcoin. I'm looking for a 10x at least. I'm not looking for a 2x. Especially when, and BitBoy's the damn leader. I don't even know where it is. I can't even find XRP because it's probably not moving. The bubble's so small. It's probably not moving. Oh, it was EOS. It's EOS small. XRP's probably in there too. Oh, here it is. Like, all the way at the bottom. You can't see it. It's so small. It's about right. It doesn't move. Here it is. 30 billion market cap for this thing. You know? Like, if I'm going to hold an altcoin that I'm already taking so much risk, I'd rather own something that's lower cap, that's going to give me higher upside than something that's already a $27 billion market cap. But, you know, maybe someone could convince me of it. XRMR will be up 2x this time next week. Yeah. XRP is like 10 years away. Yeah, but Monero, listen, dude, if you guys want to buy Monero, now's the time. Like, if you're not buying it now and you like it, like, and you're super bullish on Monero and you're not buying it right here, I sometimes, you know, I have to question my life sometimes. Just kidding. Let's see. Brian said, don't let Jordan FUD you out of your XRP. It's a long-term hold, not a trading coin. I get that, right? And Brian, XRP will go up with the rest of the market. My point is, why would you hold XRP over something else, right? Like, because here's the thing, XRP is not just going to pump by itself. It's not going to go to $10 just randomly by itself. It's going to, if it goes to $10, it's going to be because everything is pumping, right? I don't know. That's always been my thought process. Bass said, you're a goddamn pussy for not buying Monero today. That's right. I agree with that. You know, I agree. You know, I think you're a goddamn pussy. I somewhat agree. Now, like I said, I'm being fully transparent. I am not buying Monero today. Not because this is not a good spot to buy. Like if I really wanted to, I would buy it right here. But like I said, I'm not buying it because I'm looking for gains, and I just don't think Monero is the best avenue for gains going into next year. But if you do think Monero is the best avenue for gains, and you think Monero is going to the freaking moon, this is the time you want to be entering, man. Just saying. Just saying, man. Just saying. Just saying. You know, like if this was Bitcoin right into the previous low, that'd be a buy. If this was OP into the low, that'd be a buy. You know, but if you're super bullish on Monero, this is the time. Damien said XRP went up 454x in the 2016 bull run. But yeah, but you got to understand, dude, the market cap was like 10 million. Now it's 27 billion. You know, you got to think about what's realistic. That's why I also think people calling for like a $1 million Bitcoin are freaking crazy, man. You know how much money would have to flow into Bitcoin to get it to $1 million? I'm not just saying this for XRP, guys. I'm saying this for Bitcoin. Like, even people calling for Bitcoin to go to 300K. Dude, you would literally need countries flowing into BTC. You know what I mean? So I'm not just saying this for XRP. Don't get me wrong. I think the same problem exists for Bitcoin too. But, you know, I'm basically talking about like if I want to buy an altcoin for gains, because let's be honest, guys. I mean, most people are in this market for gains. You're not in this to change the world, okay? If you want to keep it 100, some of you guys are, but most of you guys aren't. Let's be 100% transparent here, okay? If I'm in this market for gains and I'm buying an altcoin that at any day could dump 30%, I'd rather something that's low cap or lower cap and is going to make me more money. You know what I'm saying? The government can kiss my fat ass, said Bath. Dude, someone is going off out there right now. Going off. What is it, 722? Okay, guys. Let's freaking go, criminals. Oh, Lord, man. All right, guys. On that note, I'm getting off. I think we talked about everything. I know I kind of ended it with being an XRP Debbie Downer. XRP is going to go up with the rest of the market, guys. In Phase Z, XRP will go up. Okay? I'm not saying XRP is going to go down. Okay? It's going to go up. Everything goes up. But we talked about a lot of good things today. A lot of good things. I think we made a pretty good case. If you missed what I talked about today, I think I talked about some good stuff today. The first 30 minutes, I think, are worth a watch if you're just coming in now. Taking a look at Bitcoin's weekly stock RSI reset. Taking a look about ETH is doing the same thing that it did last cycle, consolidating above the previous bear market highs and as support. Total 3, accumulating above the previous highs as support. Same thing it did last cycle. As the weekly stock RSI resets to a 20, we're approaching it now. We probably got a few more weeks of consolidation, which is okay. Stock market's at all-time highs. Ethereum Classic Fractal playing out exactly as it should. And some big catalysts like inflation coming, or CPI coming up next week, actually 7 days from now, showing that trueflation is down to 1.45%, which could be a catalyst for markets to get kind of excited. So everything's coming together. Bitcoin's exactly where it should be going into this cycle. I'm really excited for the rest of this year, guys. I know the market's boring right now, so it's hard to get excited for like right now, but I really am excited. That's why I'm talking a little bit more about charts and stuff lately, because I think this is when we should really be focusing on what is important and is playing the cycles for the rest of this bull. Okay, so we're gonna keep killing it. We're gonna keep getting this day by day, but I do think, once again, that the most exciting part of the market is coming. Might take a few more weeks, but I do think it is coming. And remember, the saying for today, it doesn't matter which alts you buy. It matters more knowing when to sell. Okay? On that note, I'm out of here. I'll be stuck. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Maybe earlier if something crazy happens. But I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. If nothing crazy happens. And enjoy the rest of your nights. I'm going to go eat some halal because that's what I want to do. I want to eat some halal and maybe watch some 90 Day Fiance. I don't know. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Peace out. See you guys tomorrow. Eat some biryani or whatever you guys are eating. Fried chicken or I don't know what you guys are eating. But eat something good. Peace. Later. And
Rant alert.
adios.